Hello, this is Kiara with Simone Speaks. Um, Today is Sunday. It is July 26th. Um, it's so weird because today I wanted to talk about grief, and for those of you that do not know, my mother actually passed. It will be 4 months in August from COVID-19. And today actually makes 8 years for my father's death. So I'm feeling, mixed emotions today because I'm still grieving for my mother, but just those memories of my father and I are popping up. But I definitely want to start with my mom. My mom was everything to me. I can't really, I, I didn't really imagine life without her. I never expected her to be gone so soon and so suddenly. So it's definitely hard for me to process. I would say it's even harder to get back to my normal schedule of things, um, of just my everyday life. She was definitely a part of my everyday routine as far as me reaching out to her. We would have certain times we would talk in the morning because she would already be at work. She lives in Houston, I live in Atlanta. So she would already be at work when I'm on the way to work because it's an hour difference in between us. So she would always call me. If she didn't call me, I would call her. So we had our routine set up. We would have Sundays would be like our video chat day, where we would just talk and um, just vent about certain things. We were each other's best. That was my best friend. We talked about any and everything that were on our hearts, that were heavy on our hearts. So losing my mom has been difficult. The process of me now owning the fact that I am no longer the same. Everything has changed. Everything. My mindset. Who I choose to be around and who I don't choose to be around. What the things the things I spend my energy on. What kind of people I invite in my life. What kind of people that don't need to be around me. Like choosing to be healthier. Everything has shifted in my life, and I think it's hard for other people to understand the magnitude of how her death really affected me. And that's fine. I don't expect other people to understand. I don't expect them to understand the healing process of me losing my mother. Um, we did everything together. Um, we would plan our trips together. Definitely travel together. She would either come here and we go to North Carolina where her family is, and um, we did everything together. I was recently there in February because we decided we was gonna be each other's Valentines. So we got each other gifts. We went out to dinner as if we were each other dates. We were. Um, so I'm just glad that I was steadfast on making time for her, making time to be around her, making her feel appreciated. Because um, we haven't had the best relationship. We did have our ups and downs. My mother had her flaws, So did I. So we would sometimes clash. But for the past couple years, we have been getting closer and closer, and I'm forever thankful for that time because I was lost as far as who I was, and neither was my dad or my mom present. And so I found healing within the past few years, and she was definitely a part of it and willing to change her behavior as well. So it's just beautiful how God is so ordained in how He moves in our lives. Um, Everything's set up for a reason because, of course, we don't know. But when it happens, it's like, dang, like that's why, you know. Um, so for my father, today I'm usually just reflective. I'm usually just open to whatever my heart desires on the passing of him passing, his anniversary or whatever of his death. I usually reflect on our memories and just grateful for those last days. Because, like I said, me and my father, we weren't as close as either. He had his flaws, but that last year or two, we had gotten closer. And especially those last 2 months of him living, we made time for each other. I've definitely made time for him when he was sick because he waited to tell me that he was sick. And it's so special. At first, I was upset, but he waited to tell me because he wanted to see me cross the stage for my undergrad, and I went to his alma mater, Grambling State University, and he wanted to see me walk. He didn't want to see me stressed or anything like that. So literally when I told him that I passed all my classes and that it was like I was graduating, then that like literally the next second he told me, the next moment after that, he told me about his sickness. I had just got my lashes done. That's when I used to wear lashes. He just got my lashes done. Cried them all out. Because, that was my dad, and we was just getting to a place where we were okay, and we had a good rapport. We was talking all the time, and, all kind of stuff. So that definitely took a toll on me as well. And I'm forever grateful because when my father passed, of course I believed in Christ, but I wasn't practicing like I am now. I have been getting closer and closer with my relationship with God since last year. A little early, past couple years, but it's been really, really, really relational last year. And so for my mom's death, I was prepared. For my dad's, I wasn't. It was all hell broke loose, and I know that's a part of grief. It's so up and down, and you don't really know how to heal. You're never prepared to lose anyone that close, that close to you in general. If any of my friends I would feel the same way, but for my mom and my dad, my mom especially, definitely hit me harder than my dad did. Just like I said, processing everything. I have like waves of emotions of how I feel, and they're so up and down. So up and down. Some days I have good days. Some days I have my schedule planned out, and some days I don't know what's about to happen. I don't know how I'm going to feel. And then if I feel a certain way, how do I get out of this, But I'm learning to allow myself to be vulnerable in that, and whatever I feel, just be vulnerable in that. If I want to cry, I'll cry. Like this morning, I was listening, I think it was Tasha Cobbs, and I was listening, I think it was At Your Feet, and that thing started, I was waterworks, okay? Waterworks. I was crying, because it's cleansing to cry. It's okay. So, and this was supposed to be a grief video, and it is. I just wanted to just express how I'm feeling during this time of renewing who I am. Because that's basically what it is. I'm renewing my whole existence. I still have my purpose, but I'm renewing it. Like some things need to be anew. My everything. Every choice I make. The company I keep. The motivation for my business and all that. And so that's why I've been on pause with Simone Speaks, because I had to reevaluate who I was. I don't reevaluate. Like I said, I know my purpose, but how am I going to get that through? Like, how is God? Like, I had to really do some prayer stuff. Like, a lot of prayer. I had to have a lot of prayer time with God to kind of understand, okay, which way you want me to go, Lord? How you want me to communicate, because I had this set in stone. But now that you shook me, so we're going to have to go over this again. So anybody that is just going through grief, it's a lot. Oh, and I know it's a lot. It's painful. It's heartbreaking. But it's also joy in the chaos. And it's really weird. But it's joy in that as well. It makes me more thankful that I even had parents that I love so much. People don't even have parents. People are wards of the Satan, foster children. I counsel foster children that their family doesn't love them. They don't care about their existence. So I'm just thankful that I had parents that love me, and that I have so many memories with them, I have so many memories with them, so many pictures. I have so much, and I'm just so thankful for that. So that brings me joy, and knowing that I was loved regardless of what they put me through, regardless of the pain they definitely inflicted on my life. They loved me, So I had to be thankful in that. Sorry, it's a wasp. I do not play with wasps at all. So, just want to share that with you guys. I'm gonna do a more in-depth written post on grief and how exactly it makes me feel. Tips on how to get through grief. And things of that nature. But it's tough. Yeah, I never would have thought I would be here in 2020 without my mom, I never thought it. I never assumed it would be here, But you will get through it. For one thing's for sure, you have to focus on something that brings you joy, that brings you happiness. And so here I am, focusing on Simone Speaks and blogging for you guys and creating content for you guys to understand your mental health. To understand you have to treat it as anything else in this world. You have to treat your mental health like your clothes. Keep it neat and keep it washed. You can't keep on that same thing over and over again. You have to do something different. So I love you guys. I thank you for being patient with me, because this is a lot to just cope with. And I'm learning day by day on how to overcome grief and how to be okay with wherever I'm at. Because there's so many pressures from other people looking in that expect, oh girl, your mom been gone. I'm not saying that anyone has said this, but for example, people will pressure you into rush your healing. Like, what? But people do that. People aren't considerate of what you're going through. They just want a companion. So you have to be aware of how you feel. You have to be aware of allowing people in your circle. You have to be aware of that and take time. Do not rush this process of grief. You cannot rush grief, because it's going to pop up on you regardless. You think you good. You think you good, So, like I said, I thank you guys for being patient. This Simone Speaks has been a long time coming, and some mountains have definitely came and blocked it from progressing, but it's just healing, and I'm allowing myself to get back on schedule with everything, and planning out more and having some order in the steps I want to take moving forward with my business, and just reflecting. So I love you guys. I know this was a lot, but I'm going to start recording more. I am. But I love you. I thank you. My mom's dog is back there. So, yeah. Tune in to more Simone Speaks.